This is Glenn Rice with Clearview Sewer Chems. We're located at 22503 Welby Way, West Hills, California, 91307. Today is February 25th, 2021. We're performing a video sewer inspection through a 4-inch ABS cleanout located on the right-hand side of the walkway as you approach on the left-hand side of the walkway as you approach the front door in the planter area. And this is our 4-inch ABS cleanout located in the planter area here. This is our planter area at the front of the property. This goes out towards the front of the property here, our driveway area, and this goes towards our front door here. And we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor here, and we're going to go ahead and continue to push out and attempt to run all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. We're just going to drop down. It does appear that we are transitioning immediately into what appears to be vitreous clay sewer pipe there. And as you can see, we do have a fairly large offset in the vitreous clay sewer pipe there from about the 3 o'clock area all the way up to about the 9 o'clock area. You can see there, full face of the pipe. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump up and over that area, and we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. A little bit of, appears to be a little bit of slag buildup in that joint there right around the 3 o'clock area. And we're just going to continue to push out, and as you can see, we got some root intrusion in this joint here, and then root intrusions from about the 12 o'clock area all the way around to about the 12 o'clock area. Full diameter of the pipe. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out, and as we push out, you can see that we do have another root intrusion in this joint as well. And again, this is the full diameter of the pipe. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And as we push out, see how that it does appear that we are holding some water in this area. And you can see there, water's draining down slowly. What we're going to do is we're just going to pause here for a moment and let a little bit of that water drain down. That way we can get past that area and take a good look at that joint. But it does appear to have a fairly large root intrusion in that joint, as you can see. And that root intrusion is pretty much the full diameter of the pipe. So again, the water seems to be holding in this area. So what we're going to do is we're just going to attempt to push out, get past this area. And what we'll do is we'll continue to push out. And as we push out, we get to the next joint, and that joint there is heavily root intruded as well. And it does appear that we have more root intrusion in this joint here. And as you can see, it does appear that we do have a break in this joint as well. As you can see, from about the 3 o'clock area down to about the 7 o'clock area, you can see the crack in the vitreous clay. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, as we push out, as you can see here, this joint here is heavily root intruded as well. So again, we're just going to continue to push out, and we get to the next joint, and that joint there is as well as heavily root intruded. So what we'll do is we're just going to continue to push out, and we'll just attempt to push through these root intrusions and get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. And as you can see, more root intrusions. So what we're going to do is we're just going to push out fast and attempt to get to our city sewer tie-in, which we're here at our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to pause here for a moment. What we'll do is we'll go in and rinse our camera off here, and then we'll pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and pushed all the way out into our city sewer tie-in, and our city sewer tie-in is pretty much parallel in the middle of our street here. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to pull back slowly. We're going to take a good look at our line as we pull back. And again, as you can see, right at the saddle area, we do have a crack in the saddle there, and right around the 12 o'clock area, and you can see the root intrusion as well. A little bit of offset there in that joint. And we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And as we pull back, you can see that we do have root intrusions in that joint as well, right around the 8 o'clock area. And so what we'll do is we'll just continue to pull back. And a little bit of root intrusion in that joint there. And as we pull back, you can see that the roots here are bedded down here. As you can see, right around the 6 o'clock all the way up to about the 12 o'clock area. We're just pulling in on the side of the roots here. And so our camera went to the side of the root. So that root mass is fairly large, as you can see there. And you can see the large root finger there that penetrated the joint as I pull back. And again, very difficult to tell in that joint there, but it does appear to be broke right around the 9 o'clock area. Once we get it hydrojetted, and the line gets hydrojetted and cleared of the roots, we can check these joints a lot better. We can see them, and we determine the overall condition of the pipe. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. A little bit of root intrusion in that joint there. And again, as we're pulling back, you can see that we're pulling back into another fairly large root mass here. You can see where my camera had poked a hole in there just to penetrate the root mass. And again, we're just continuing to pull back. And as you can see there, we do have a break in that joint as well from about the 6 o'clock going up towards the 9 o'clock area. But again, very hard to determine the size of the break just due to the overall size of the root intrusion. And there does appear to be a break in that joint as well. We're pulling back, and as we pull back, another large root intrusion in that joint. So we can continue to pull back. And again, another fairly large root intrusion in this joint as well. We're just going to continue to pull back. And pretty much all the joints, as we pull back onto the property, all the joints all appear to have fairly large root intrusions. Again, you can see that root intrusion there, pretty much completely the full diameter of the pipe. And we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And that joint has root intrusions as well. And as you can see there, it does have a break in the joint as well from about the 3 o'clock all the way up to around about the 6 o'clock area. So again, we would recommend having the line hydrojetted and re-inspected. And overall, we can determine the overall condition of the joints and try to deem the remedy for the repairs. And as you can see here, that joint is root intruded as well. And again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And as we pull back, you can see that we do have a crack in that joint as well. And full amount of root intrusion coming in at the 12 o'clock area. And again, we pull back, and we're pulling back into another fairly large root intrusion in this joint as well. So all the vitreous clay all appears to have quite a bit of root intrusions throughout the entire vitreous clay sewer line on the property and as well onto the lateral. So again, we would recommend having the line hydrojetted and re-inspected. And again, you can see there we do have a crack in that joint as well. We continue to pull back. And as we pull back, we transition back into black ABS sewer pipe, and this is right at our cleanout. And as you can see here at our cleanout, we do have a fairly large offset there from about the 3 o'clock all the way around to about the 9 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to pull up and out of our cleanout, and that will conclude our video sewer inspection.